So when Europeans made their way to the New World, one of the things they put on that ship was seed. They needed to be able to grow and propagate when they got to the new land. And this particular garlic, its origins are Eastern Europe, and we've been growing and propagating this particular garlic for over 20 years. We did grow 2 other varieties this year, and we got quite a bit of garlic to put down for winter storage. So without question, this is our favorite variety, and just to give you an example of the size of this, that I have a relatively big hand, I've been told, and that's the size of 1 clove. So that's going to enhance my supper tonight. The balance of them we store in my canoe building shed, and it's ideal. Sun can't get on it. It's open on 3 sides, and it's worked really well for us to dry it. Once it's dried out, we'll take off the tops, knock the dirt off the roots, and we'll put it down for winter storage. It is the one crop we don't put in the root cellar. It likes to be kept dry. So we've got ample garlic, not only for ourselves, extended family, and for a bunch of friends as well. That isn't going to go anywhere. Let's see if it'll hold something. Yep, works. So, wee bit of history behind milk paint. It actually dates back, they figure almost 20,000 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. So there's a protein in milk called casein, I think that's how it's pronounced. And they mix that with lime and earth pigments to get different colors. And it was the first paint. So first it was used for decoration only, like cave paintings, etc. They found it in the tombs in Egypt that date back 10,000 years. I'm assuming cavemen must have used human milk because they certainly didn't domesticate cows then. But we fast forward a few thousands of years into the 1700s in our time frame, and every settler's home had a cow or a goat, or sometimes both. And they also had, each community had what was called a lime pit, and lime was used for a lot of applications. And so they mix, as I said, the milk with the lime from the lime pit with different pigments depending on the color they wanted. This was a very popular color in the 1700s. So yeah, I've got the second piece of furniture done. Over here I've got the completed table I built last winter, and yeah, I'm going to be building, I guess next, I'm going to build what's called a step-back cabinet. They were very popular also in the 17, 18, and well into the 19th century, and it become popular again. A lot of people will see them in modern homes today. Pretty much the same design. So I'm going to be building that, painting it the same color, and it's going to go over where our kitchen area and the counter, our work surface will be. So the next thing I'm going to do is I've got the first musket I built. I'm going to, I forged out some brackets, and I'm going to hang that over the mantle. So this particular musket was the first one I ever built. It's basically a reproduction of a mid-1600s Pennsylvania long rifle. It's 54 caliber, it's got a rifle barrel. And I decided, because it was my first build, I built a few since then, that I'd hang it over the mantle. So they didn't do that just to show off. Historically, they'd hang the gun where it was readily available to them. Times were turbulent, and they wanted that gun available, first line of defense. They always left a charge in the barrel, but they never left the priming pan charged, or the frizzen closed, or some people call this the hammer. It was actually called the cock. So what you do to relieve the tension and all the springs is you open the frizzen, close the cock, and store it that way with the charge inside the barrel. So in the event of an emergency, all you had to do was put a little bit of powder in the flash pan, you're ready to go. Anyway, quite pleased with that. Now I just got to find a place to hang Jenny here and a few more. Anyway, it works. I kind of like it. Yeah, it's all coming together, this little cabin. Yep. This is actually a piece of history right here. It's a pot hanger, or sometimes they'd hang utensils from it. And this isn't a reproduction. This is the real McCoy. Found it in a flea market. If one's patient enough in flea market, you can find almost anything. So it could very well be from the era of our persona, which is mid-1700s, because it's not made of steel, it's made of pig iron. And yeah, an original piece. I'm gonna have to go fire up forge and make some smaller nails. The holes are too small for nails that I've got or have made, and so we're gonna have to do that before that gets hung. But one more part of the cabin build, almost done. Cedar shakes, make great kindling. So I decided I've pretty much finished the cabin. So I realized that I haven't been taking a whole lot of time. So to sort of stop and reflect about essentially how lucky I am to have this place. And I guess at my age, I still have the ability to get about to do stuff. All right, given it's getting a little closer, I'm going to start taking a bit more time to appreciate my surroundings, because it sure is one fantastic spot in the world. All right, I'm going to brew up a cup of coffee.
just about perfect. Just about perfect.
My passion for history has me sitting here contemplating what it must have been like when the first settlers had finished their first log cabin and moved from their first primitive shelter. And as I'm moving all the accoutrements from this shelter into the new build, yeah, I'm just wondering what was going through their mind. I built this shelter 11 years ago, I think, approximately 11 years ago, and it's served me well, very well. I tried to reproduce, so it could have been what settlers built first before they undertook building their cabin. They had to have a roof over their head. It's also sort of a reproduction of a long hunter's shelter. They would build semi-permanent ones, stage them out in the areas they hunted to feed the trapping companies. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of fascinating to imagine the excitement, even the kids of sleeping in their new house for the night. Anyway, yeah, it's all coming together, and yeah, I'm gonna enjoy my coffee now.